with the Eagles going out, the Bills were the last remaining undefeated team in the National Football League. But by the way, in case you're wondering, the way the NFL and its stat-heavy crew views this thing, it's not like poker, who's lasted the actual longest. If you're out on the same day, you tie as the last remaining undefeated team in the National Football League season. So the Eagles and the Bills are tied for the 2025 campaign as being the last undefeated teams in the National Football League. That said, I don't think a lot of people thought the Patriots could win the game, maybe give them a scare. Was that your higher register on Thursday, Chris?
No, I didn't want to be a super homer. I went Seahawks for higher register.
Yeah, my higher register hit. Then I thought Denver might be able to give the Eagles that game and actually pull it through. A lot of people, I don't know, Drake Maye has been playing well. You never know. And, sure enough, Patriots come out. Unfortunately, they got to settle. They don't want to ever settle. In Buffalo, train whistles are going. They're wearing their white uniforms. Tirico's having trouble. Like, the Rolls Royce of Tirico is having trouble reading those numbers because they were in silver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. A couple of times he goes, that's Curtis Samuel, I believe. That was a tough assignment. Everybody wearing white. And here come the Bills, man. Marching down the field, and guess what happens? Fumble. Bad operation. Dawson knocks the ball out of Josh Allen's hand. And then off we go. A 3-turnover night for the Bills ensue. And even the Patriots were overcoming a fumble by Ramondre Stevenson, who gave that ball right back to the Bills. Right after the takeaway, here comes a giveaway.
Stupid.
And that's when every Patriot fan I knew, including a 14-year-old in my house, starts screaming at the screen. And you know this, how diehard Cooper is of a Patriot fan, because he's also a diehard Michigan fan. I took him to the Big House for the first time this weekend. He starts screaming for a Buckeye to get out there. They're all waiting for Travion Henderson to start taking
I'm sure
the diaper off, to use
I'm sure Coop wasn't saying what I was saying in my house.
Yeah. Other choice words.
Cut him!
But the diaper, which is the phrase that a lot of old school NFL folks use about rookies, that they're wearing their diaper. The phrase that pays, though, that I heard one of the first times I was in the NFL Network, the old Parcells phrase of a rookie no longer playing like a rookie as he dropped his Huggies. Well, we talked earlier this, I guess a couple weeks ago, after Drake Maye and the Patriots came close against the Steelers, and then after that game, taking care of business against Carolina and just spanking them, putting the most points on a team that had just shut out an opponent in quite some time in Carolina. We were talking about how Drake Maye was doing things that we hadn't seen statistic-wise out of a Patriot quarterback since Tom Brady, in terms of efficiency, in terms of touchdowns, in terms of ratings, in terms of all of that stuff. Well, guess who dropped his Huggies and basically removed them for good last night, it feels like? I'd be one Drake Maye. Gents, get ready for all you Patriot haters out there coast to coast. But they officially have a live one now.
We're back.
Now, we'll put a pin in that one, sir, which is, you saying that is exactly why people hate the Patriots coast to coast. That said, what Drake Maye has done cannot be denied, and what he did last night is exactly what Josh Allen and the Bills have done to pretty much everyone else, certainly in that building, which is roll out, extend plays, and become unstoppably relentless. Drake Maye rolling to his right last night was a nightmare for the Bills defense. An absolute positive nightmare. You could not get him down on the turf, extending plays and making throws where you're like, where did he see that? How did he see that? How did he complete that? And again, the person you're normally saying that about in that building is Josh Allen. That's how good Drake Maye played last night, and he did it in the money crunch time. Certainly after the Bills came out after halftime and scored a touchdown, and no doubt everyone in that building, with the exception of the guy who was wearing that Matt Milano jersey, ran out with a football.
That was cool.
Tirico's calling that was
everyone in that building when the Buffalo Bills took that 10-6 lead with the Curtis Samuel 6-yard touchdown pass, everyone thought, okay, order has been restored. It's going to be the Bills' night. The Patriots, nice plucky first half out of you. Like, honestly, that I believe was the sentiment for most people sitting there watching Sunday Night Football, and certainly in that building where watching their players wear the ice uniforms or whatever the heck they call them.
Well, especially when the Patriots settled for a field goal with 1 second left at the end of the second quarter. Like, got to go for it. Got to score touchdowns to beat this team.
That's the general sense. Drake Maye, after that Samuel touchdown, for the rest of the night, went 13 of 14 for 184 yards. Unbelievable.
Balling.
100% balling. And the defense was balling out too. And Stefon Diggs is one of those guys that you just don't want to piss off at the wrong time, at the right time, or whatever time there is to piss him off. You don't want to do it. And it's his first time back in this building since being traded. He did play against the Bills last year, but it was in Houston. This was his first time back in Highmark. And you want to talk about a high mark for him as a Patriot, 10 catches, 146 yards. Most by any former Bills player against Buffalo. The biggest night of any former Bill against the Bills at the position. That's what Stefon Diggs did. And he now has 100 or more receiving yards in consecutive games for the first time in 2 years. Never did it as a Texan. We all know it was an injury-shortened season anyway. And Drake Maye's found his guy. And Drake Maye, man, again, after the Bills tied the game and left too much time on the clock. Words you didn't really say much about last year's team. We left too much time for Jacoby.
Or the year before that.
Or Mac Jones.
Left the year before that.
Words you never heard in the last couple of years in New England was left too much time for Zappy.
I said that once. So.
Is he really?
The year before
okay,
that.
my bad.
Yeah.
The year before
left
that.
too much time for Zappy. Drake Maye left too much time for him. And the night capped by the final drive, started by the play of the night that personified everything that I've talked about Maye. First snap on the final drive on the north side of the 2-minute warning. Daquan Jones jumps the snap and essentially envelops Drake Maye. And this is no small man. Maye shakes him off enough to be able to avoid the sack. And I thought he's throwing it away.
Right.
He made a 12-yard reception happen to Stefon Diggs. And then after a Ramondre Stevenson 1-yard run, dropped it into coverage perfectly to Keyshawn Boutte. And then the final booty of the night from Andy Borregales.
Look at you.
A 52-yard field goal with hardly any time left for the Buffalo Bills to come back. And that's the way the Patriots put their card on the table to say, we are no longer doormats. We are 100% in the mix for a playoff spot. We have the right head coach. We definitely have the right head coach and offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. And 100%, do they have the best? Do they have the right quarterback? And until Jaden Daniels showed up yesterday and started doing Jaden Daniel things for the Washington Commanders, and Bo Nix played well yesterday as well, 100% the most improved quarterback from last year's draft class. 100%. Now you could say Daniels and Nix don't have much more to improve in order to improve. And we'll see how they do from here on out. But as of week 5, Drake Maye, 100%. You hit it. Patriots hit it. And the quarterback front. Kid is something else. And he had a little bit of fun afterwards talking about how he could not watch the game-winning field goal that he set up with his remarkable evening remarkable night in support of 3 takeaways taken by the Patriots. First time they've done that since 2002 at Buffalo, Week 18. But again, those games, as you know, were all just the Bills getting ready for the playoffs. And their streak of consecutive games with fewer than 3 takeaways, 38 in a row, the longest such streak in the NFL, is now over, and Drake Maye made it all cash.
Yeah, I couldn't watch. I couldn't watch. Couldn't watch. It was just trust. Just trust in him, and he back in the day he was committed to North Carolina high school when he flipped on us. So he went to Miami, but what a kick. Pressure, ultimate pressure. I tell people all the time. Other than quarterback, I think kickers got it. Got a lot on the line, so it was sweet to see.
So what did you do? Shut your eyes?
I was just looking down at the iPad of something in the run game I could have done in the last couple plays to get another first down.
He looks 12. It's unbelievable. He's a man-child. He just looks 12, and he plays like a veteran now. Boy, does McDaniels have this thing working. And listen, the division's in play as well. And you got to feel really good about this, brother. Really good about it.
Yeah, we're back. And everyone should be pissed that they didn't get theirs in the 5 years that we stunk. Because
What does that mean? What does that mean? The Chiefs got theirs. The Eagles got theirs.
yeah, right. And
Okay.
all the 29 other teams should be pissed that they didn't.
So now you're going back on another generational run?
Yeah,
Then you're
it's absolutely happening.
Really? You sure about that?
Yeah, your team ain't doing it.
We know
your team ain't doing
and
it.
I'm not saying
Listen,
here
this
we're
guy-
back. This guy.
Like, so
man.
back. Pull up the Pats schedule.
What are you smoking, bro?
Yeah,
Give me
right.
some.
Tell me how
I'd love to hit
it's
that.
not 12-5 at worst this year.
Here's what I will say. With all
Division's
seriousness-
in play,
with all
AFC
seriousness
is in
and due
play.
respect, with all by the way, no doubt.
And
It
guess
is in
what?
play.
Now free agency is going to get a lot more hotter because
Well,
guys are going to want to come on and play with Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel.
I got it. Now this is, by the way, the man. This is the man.
How can you laugh?
The brain behind.
Did you watch the game last
I
night?
watched the game
brain,
last
this,
night.
this is the brain behind Overreaction Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, young teams are up and down. Let's see how consistent they can play. I just talked about how special Drake Maye looks. He's got to be consistent. He has been as well, even with the losses. This is 4 straight games with a passer rating of 100 or better. And the last quarterback in New England to do it was Brady in 2018 and 2019, his last 2 years there. When he did it in 4 straight starts. He's special. He's a special guy. But it's up and it's down. And we will see. You take a look at the schedule. We can pop it up there.
Commit dumbass personal foul penalties.
The fumbles that they had against
and the
Pittsburgh.
fumbles, but sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Get that out of the way. That was the preseason.
Again, please put up their schedule. There it is. And there are winnable games. You're at New Orleans. You're at Tennessee. Back-to-back visits to the teams that just won their first games. And then you've got Cleveland at home. We're assuming it's going to be Dylan Gabriel's 4th start in a row. Never know. Could be Shador.
Yep.
Could be Flacco back again. You got Atlanta coming in. You visit Tampa. You still have 2 against the Jets. Baltimore, we're assuming, will be much healthier and a totally different team at that point in time.
They will have packed it in by December 21st.
I will push back on that notion.
Yeah, if Lamar's playing, he ain't
I will
packing it
push back on that notion and extremely hard.
Lamar ain't playing
And we'll
defense.
talk
They're
about
giving
them.
up 40 a game.
No, listen, I like your excitement.
That looks like 13-4 to me.
Well,
and
it's
that's
great.
just like giving them losses at Tampa at home against Buffalo.
Let's put it. Let's.
I'm with Brockman
Granted,
on
the
this
Buffalo
one.
win was great, but you beat the Dolphins and the Panthers too. So
Hold on a minute.
You know,
You got
just
to
like
play
Del
who you got to
Tufo was
play.
telling me this morning.
No, listen. You got to play who you got to play.
Look at all those
again,
garbage teams on that schedule.
They have a
There's a lot of garbage teams.
young team that's
You're right.
learning how to win and how to win together with a new coaching staff that's leading the way. You've got to give it up. That was a Stones win. That was a great win. You could make a case it's one of the best road wins of anybody in the league this year. We started the show with one of them, with Denver at Philadelphia. This is a monster win for them and a big confidence boost. They just have to play like this consistently, which is
absolutely.
tough to do in the NFL. We shall see. But without a doubt, a playoff spot is in the offing. When you look at the rest of the division, there's only one other team, and you just went in their house and beat them, and you're only one game behind. You're a half game behind them, essentially. So, yes, there's lots to be excited about. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.